tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Rush in.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle, 55. 55. Mike 55, Mike 55. Target. Hey, check Mike.
Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Benny Logan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the
rush coming, and he's taken down. Benardrick McKinney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs the defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
He's checking crap.
Now back to throw. He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this is Parker, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
From the gun, here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
What's up? UAT! 26! All that, baby, all that. Mark 55! Mark 55! And we got to get to the pass.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Parker. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check 55 to Mike. Check 50. Let's go.
Now it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Watson now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's caught by Bryant. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This is taken at the 3. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he finds Parker here, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He's able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On play action, they'll throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Whitney merciless, and this Texans defense stands tall. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. Shifts by him. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 39, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Now a first down throw, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Man, I got 55. 49.
Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This fielded at the 2.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Benny Logan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Texans send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contra.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
That's what I do.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Bryant has it. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field.
Now a hit and a loose football, and the Texans scoop it. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now they try the right side here. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Milage. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 11. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Benardrick McKinney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins gain a bit of respectability. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a handoff looking right. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This will be taken short. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Fight 51. Mike. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
52 set.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a handoff looking right. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
You're set. 19. Man, I got you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
19. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, G.
Now they try the right side here. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They